Welcome back. In this section, we're going to talk language, but of course, we always bring up nature versus nurture. When we are beginning to talk about nature versus nurture, we're going to talk about Chomsky. Chomsky was a language theorist, and Chomsky, but actually was on the nature side. He believed that humans are already biologically pre-wired to learn a language at a certain time and in a certain way. He believed that each human has something called a language acquisition device. And automatically, he believed that when we were born, this language acquisition device, or LAD, allows us to be able to detect certain features and certain rules of language. However, we have behaviorists who are opposed, so that would be the nurture side. They believe that language is not learned in a social vacuum and that the environment plays a role as well. And of course, like everything else in this class, we're going to look at the interactionist view of language, where it says both nature and nurture contribute to language development. And we can even think about the woman, the young girl, and the young man who were left in the woods for a long time, and they obviously didn't have any experience talking with other humans, and so they had, when they were found, they had difficulty speaking, because children benefit from opportunities to talk and be talked to, and so yes, you may have this innate understanding, this innate device to be able to understand language, but if you are but if you have not been exposed to language, then how would you learn it? So that's why biology and experience both contribute to language development. And we're going to take a deeper look into how parents and caregivers, siblings, the environment can play a role in helping children understand language. The first thing that we're going to talk about is child-directed speech. And this is also, another word for this is mother-est or mother-east speech. And this is important for children because children are able to better understand sentences and words if you speak to them in a higher pitch. And so there are some people who view speaking in a higher pitch as baby talk, but it's really not. As long as you are speaking in a higher pitch, but you're still, speaking how you would speak to an adult, then that is child directed speech, and children really benefit from speaking to them in a higher pitch, but still using complex words or complex sentences, simple words, simple sentences. And so that helps children to be able to understand better. Another way that children are able to understand better, and helps their language development is from having adults or other children recast or rephrase the things that children say. And so we have rephrasing, and what you are doing when you're rephrasing is changing what a child says, but it's still going to have that same meaning. So for example, a child can say daddy home, and then as an adult, you're going to make what the child said a fully grammatical sentence. Yes, daddy's home. And another example is I want read. Obviously, that's not a fully grammatical sentence. So what the adult can say is, oh, you want to read, or what do you want to read? So rephrasing is an example of recasting. And another example, child says doggy gone, and then the adult says the dog is gone. So rephrasing, that's just allowing the child to hear how the fully grammatical sentence, how it should sound, and eventually they will pick up on what they should how they should speak as they get older and continue to listen to adults rephrase. Another type of method that adults can use is something called expanding, when you can restate or reword what the children have said, but this time it's taking a sophisticated form. So we say, the child can say, doggy gone, and the adult can add to and say, yes, the dog is gone, the dog went behind the house. So not only are you rephrasing, but you're adding to what the child said. Another example, the child can say, that ball. The adult says, that is a ball. So that is, rephrasing what the child said, and then taking a step further, it is a red ball. So expanding, adding to what the child has already said. Another way that adults can help children's language development is through labeling. So we have this label maker here, and that is just identifying the names of objects. Again, as I talked about a few slideshows ago, as far as going out into nature and labeling what's outside, that can be a good example of helping children to be able to further their language development, and it's also in the context of actually being outside. Okay, that's it for this slideshow. I'm going to see you all on the next slideshow where we talk about bilingualism. See you soon.